Hey out there YouTube, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2015, the year of the hoverboard. I wish. We'll see. Well, they already do have some kind of hoverboards, but I don't know if we'll ever see anything as cool as the one Marty McFly or any of the other cast used in Back to the Future Part 2. I'm a huge Back to the Future fan, so you might see a lot of references to that in other movies. But I just wanted to do this quick video to say Happy New Year and kind of commemorate the launch of my YouTube channel. I also have another YouTube channel that's for my company, Royally Records. I think you can see it if you go to my subscriptions or my channel, and you can see what I'm subscribed to. There's just a couple of videos up there now, some kind of film scoring, Foley demos that I did years ago. But I plan on this channel will be mostly just my performance stuff, and my other channel will be like tutorials, studio stuff related to my company or just general studio knowledge. But I wanted to just give you guys a quick tour of the studio in this video. I say quick, but it actually will probably be pretty long. But I just also wanted to give a shout out to Chris and VG Soundtrack Guy for thank you guys for giving me shout outs in your videos. Chris, I just recently started following you a few weeks ago, but I'm already hooked. Love your videos, man. It's awesome. VG Soundtrack Guy, you got great enthusiasm, great spirit. You're dedicated. I love that. I just to everybody out there, I love making music. It's definitely my #1 passion, and I love finding new people on YouTube to watch and share ideas with, and hopefully collaborate with. So I'm looking forward to 2015 being an awesome year and getting a whole lot accomplished this year. We've got the NAMM show coming up in a few weeks. I'll be attending, so if any of you are coming to the NAMM show, please let me know so we can meet up. I'd love to meet you, shake your hand, talk shop all day long, and grab a bite to eat, whatever. So hope you guys enjoy the studio tour, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great 2015. So here's just a quick tour of the studio. See, we've got quite a bit of things going on here, but I tried to segregate everything into the appropriate area. Do have a variety of guitars, as you can see, hanging on the walls, and they're not all out because I don't have enough wall space right now, but I like to keep some of my favorites out on the walls. That way they're easily accessible, because I found that when I keep them all packed away in cases, then they tend not to get used. So we'll start over here. I've got some storage down there for various things. I've got microphones here, some 421s, AKG, my drum mic setup that obviously I'm not using in this studio, but I take it out when I go to mic up drums at other studios. I got some more headphones and mics in there, various cables and CDs, other items that I use from time to time. This little live mixer, this Yamaha mixer, takes the inputs from the DJ setup and some various equipment here and outputs on these stereo speakers. I have these two monitors. I normally have a Mac Mini running this DJ setup, but right now it's over in the studio section. I used to have a secondary one that was running this, but I got rid of that. I'm going to get a new one for the studio and move the current one over here. So I have two separate entities. But there's dual displays for the DJ setup, as well as I have a video mixing system. Some of you might be familiar with it. It's the Motion Dive Tokyo setup. I don't think they make it anymore, but I think it's a really great unit. Definitely worth the value. Do a little bit of DJing, not so much turntablism, but a little more mixing. Some hip hop, definitely more on the electronic side of things. As you can see, I was a fan of Torque, but I'm going to be moving back to Native Instruments since Torque's been discontinued. I was a big Traktor DJ user for a long time before it was as popular as it is today, but I switched to Torque shortly after it came out just because I liked it a lot more, and you know, Native Instruments has really picked up speed, and I definitely think as far as digital DJing, they're at the forefront right now. So, and I have a lot of other Native Instruments products, so I'll be switching my whole rig over to that this year. For some of the guitars, we've got a couple 7-strings here, Ibanez Universe and a N7 Washburn, and then a 5-string bass that you saw in my other video. 25th anniversary S series Ibanez in cool neon yellow. Actually have a few of those in various colors, RGs and S series. I love the 80s and I love fluorescent colors. So this is my latest edition. This is a Ernie Ball Sterling by Music Man. They're kind of overseas made versions, but still a great guitar. This is the JP60D. Normally there isn't a D series, but this was a special edition by Sweetwater, and you can see signed by John Petrucci there. It's a D because it's got DiMarzio's, the Crunch Lab and Liquifier pickups that John uses in his normal Music Man JP model. Love it, great sound, super happy with it. My playing or I'm practicing isn't up to speed, so I think it's strung with 10s and it's killing my fingers. So I need to practice a lot more, but the sound is amazing. And just to finish off on the guitars on this side, that pink Dean Custom is, well, it said custom, but it was really only $140. I bought that when I was in Iraq. It was from the US, but had it shipped over there just so I'd have something to play. You probably see it in my my logo picture, I believe. I'm holding that one, and then one of another new edition, the N4. Been wanting one of those for a long time. Finally picked one up. And underneath my desk, there's a whole bunch of cases under there. Some are empty for these guitars, and some house all the others in my collection. Deal with the keyboard rack over here. We got a V-Synth GT up top, a Korg M3 73 key with the M3 module there, as well as the Radius. I do have the Radius keyboard for that, but since I'm obviously limited on space and I can run both of these off of the same keyboard, I figured I should put it in there to get use out of it. And my Kurzweil K2600 with it's an X model, but I did add the digital I/O card to it. I didn't add the sampling card because I don't really sample into my keyboards that much. Same with the M3. I added the Radius board, the EXB memory expansion, everything except the extra, I didn't add the FireWire card to that because I don't need to use it as an interface. So this has Radius sounds in it, and then I've got the full Radius here. It's good if I just have this unit in here. I can still access some of the insanely great, analog modeled sounds of the Radius with the card that's in here. And just a note, so this rig right here is, there's a snake cable that runs around over to my patch bay here, along with all the guitar effects, which I'll show you later on. And but it's normalized, so it goes into the stereo mixer here. Sorry about the lighting there. So it goes from the patch bay, normal through here, out to the stereo mixer, and then I have so it's always on unless I break the connection in here and I want to patch it into this patch bay, which I manufactured. A few of them. I'm coming out with a newer model here soon under my company. This is the Access RP002. I originally designed it to match with the Digi 002. So it basically gives you front panel access to all your inputs and outputs for your 002 or 003. I'm going to be coming out with a newer model that's going to be more universal for all interfaces or any other studio gear that you have. You can see company names, so we've got 8 outs and 8 ins, and then these are combo jacks to match the 4 inputs here that are XLR and 1/4 inch. And then I've got the Mac Mini there running in the Sonnet Rack Mac Mini chassis, which I like the form factor because I get a nice on button right there and it looks pretty sleek, but it builds up a little bit of heat, so even though it's got a vent here, it gets kind of noisy in the studio. But lately I haven't been miking any vocals or anything in here, so it's good enough for now. And then this is again just a Roll stereo mixer. I love it. I've had it for a while. I want to get some more because I could use more than 9 channels. It's actually 10 channel, but this is a XLR mic input. So what else? My Yamaha HS5 speakers. I used to use a lot of 8-inch speakers, but now I'm in the smaller space, so the 5s do just fine, and the Yamahas are great. I mean, crystal clear, great sonic quality, nice flat response. They don't really color the sound, so I like it. Since we're dealing with the studio racks here, I'll just talk about this one. We've got this Glyph GT Key chassis, the GT103, so it's got 3 bays with these removable hard drives here that you can just take out. And I've got a single bay version as well that I used to have in my live rig, so I could swap easily between the studio and my live recording rig, bring sessions right in without any hassle. Mostly just use this for archival storage right now. It's relatively new, pretty unused. If any of you guys are interested, you want to pick one up, let me know. I'm willing to sell that as well as the single bay version. And Mo2 MIDI Express 128 bus powered MIDI interface, TeraTech Axon AX100 guitar synthesizer, guitar to MIDI converter. Excellent product. Unfortunately it's discontinued, but if you can find one, I highly recommend picking it up if you're into guitar synthesis. And I've got the Roland GR50 old school guitar synthesizer. Both use the 13-pin inputs, so it still works with all my MIDI guitars. And then Motif rack. I've had that forever and a day. It was one of my first, actually it was my first, I think, like professional rack mount sound modules. Love the Yamaha pianos. I mean, all the sounds in there are great. Even you know, some of the synth sounds and the orchestral sounds, but definitely Yamaha pianos can't beat them. And we've got this used to be my live recording rig. Now it's basically my guitar effects rig here, as well as storage. Try to stay as organized as possible with so much gear and cables in the studio. So I have like power cables in there. I have some data cables like USB, MIDI, and some audio cables in the drawer below that. I have this custom plate that I made here just to be able to get front panel access to the Variax inputs and foot pedal inputs for my Line 6 products. Like some of the subscribers that I followed, Chris, if you're watching this, I'm a big Line 6 fan like you are, so I'll be doing a lot of Line 6 tutorials. I actually have the Amplify 75 amp coming soon. Excited about that. Definitely, you know, these are the more powerful studio and live tools from Line 6, but just for being able to quickly dial in tones and be able to play along with some of my favorite songs, I'm looking forward to the Amplify, so I can keep that in the living room and not have to alienate my wife when I want to play guitar. So this is the Pod X3 Pro rack mount unit. It's 2 generations behind the current rack mount unit. This is the Pod HD Pro, which is the one previous to the current HD Pro X. Both are great units, different processing. These are the HD models and algorithms. These are the X3, which I heard are the same models that are in the Amplify. So still relevant technology. I kept them both around just because I kind of like the different sounds and setups that they offer. This one offers 2 inputs, which I really like. So you could do stereo processing, you could do vocals. You can do a vocal in here too. But just kept them around because I like them both. And they'll both take the Variax input, which I have a couple Variax guitars under there. The new JTV ones, which I'll break out in another video. I actually have a mod for the 89F, which I'm working on right now, and I'll do a video once that's complete, so looking forward to that. Also got the 11 rack here. I really couldn't decide between the Pod and the 11. I had the X3 first, and then I got the 11 because I got it on sale. It was a good deal, and I had a lot of clients that like the 11 sounds, and you know, the plug-in is great, but actually I had one client that used this on a couple records as like not as lead sound, but he kind of doubled some tracks with the 11 on top of the mic'd, you know, Mesa or Marshall sounds, and it sounds really good. I'll do a comparison video on this later, but they're both good units. Stand by for that video. Should be good to go. No studio is a studio unless it has a lava lamp. Just make note of that. So if you're building a studio, if you want, once you're done and you want to make it official, you got to put a lava lamp in there. I'm sure some of you get a kick out of that. Yeah, like I said, so this rig you can hear is live. I don't know if you can hear it, but the sounds are coming over the speakers from all the keyboards, so that way I can monitor live. Same with the guitar stuff here, so I can just plug in straight in there. It's already coming over the speakers. I don't have to worry about hooking up cables or you know, using headphones all the time. It's right there ready to go in the patch bay. That's one tip I can offer you guys and gals out there. If you're setting up even from the smallest to the largest studio. Definitely have as much stuff pre-wired, ready to go, preferably to a patch bay, so it's always like instant on, easily accessible, and you'll get more use out of your gear. I also have the this Mackie control surface here. I had a D-Command 24 fader console in my previous studio, but I've kind of downsized a little bit, which is good in a way because I don't have to worry about, you know, this is still not obsolete, and it gets the job done. And I like the form factor. I've had them both for a while. This one was actually my first control surface, and I've kept it ever since. So shows you what stands the test of time, I guess. And I have my master keyboard controller here is this M-Audio KeyStation Pro 88. Not the best key bed in the world. Again, this is like probably my first master controller I bought in like 2004 when I bought the Motif rack, as well as this Mackie console around the same time when I first started getting serious about Pro Tools and attending Berkeley. But not the best key bed, but I love all the hands-on control knobs. I designed some overlays for this. If any of you out there are using this and you want like a custom overlay that has the, you know, what everything does labeled above the knobs and faders and buttons, let me know. You know, you can send me your preset from the unit, and I can configure it for you, print one out. I use the Lexan material, so it's not paper or anything. It's like a plastic type material. It'll last for a long time. I'll do a video on that at some point. But yeah, just overall great general controller. Again, lots of hands-on stuff. But this thing might be going not completely away, but going off into storage or to the side when I get the Native Instruments new keyboard, the Control S61 I think it's called, because I use the Complete series a lot, and I have Machine, which is great because it's easy to access sounds and browse, but then I end up playing it on the keyboard, so trying to tie that into one unit so I don't always have to have the Machine connected just to browse sounds. But yeah, great controller. Keys got a little yellow, but I think that was just from the sun. Jam It, which I used to learn the song in my other video and other songs. Also where that drum track came from. It's a great iPad app. Check that out. Ableton Push, great unit. It was basically, when this came out, it was like a godsend because I have the APC 40, and that was great for mixing live arrangements and launching clips. But then I had to have something like Machine or another drum pad controller to, you know, build grooves and sequences and stuff. This combines everything into one. It's like having a Machine and an APC 40 all in one unit. Love this thing. There's my Line 6 FBV foot controller for the X3 and the HD Pro. So great. You know, you need to have tactile control when you're playing. So you know, that's a must-have, whether you have the newer one or the longboard. I like this one because it's got you know, the two pedals, so I can have dedicated volume and then an expression pedal. I don't have to connect the secondary one, although it is a beast. It's really heavy. So back behind, you can't really see, but behind my keyboard rig I have a bunch of amps and cabinets that are kind of put away for now. I don't really use them in this studio because unless I really have to mic it up for something special, but they're just kind of tucked away for now. And some other keyboards, keytars, small little practice amps, VG99, etc., etc. Some more guitars and straps and things like that. But yeah, so that's pretty much the studio. Say hello to the monkey there. You gotta have cool artwork and a lava lamp. Makes it a nice creative environment. I hope you guys enjoyed the studio tour. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Oh, I forgot to mention here, this is part of my DJ setup. I did mention the machine and the APC 40, but just some of the other gear that I have. A lot of MIDI and Groove production tools. But yeah, definitely let me know if you guys have any questions or you want to see any tutorials on any of this gear, or any other gear for that matter. I may have it tucked away somewhere in storage, or I may be getting it in the future. So if you want to know anything, hardware, software, Pro Tools Live, Reason, whatever, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'd be happy to do a tutorial on it. I'm always looking for new ideas of content. I want to make stuff that's relevant to you guys, so please let me know. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me in the studio here today, and I wish you all a happy new year. Take care, and best of luck in the coming year. Alright, we'll see you.